all but confirmed that he is going to sign with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is kind of a shock, I feel like, to the sports world. You know, one, I never felt like he would leave, and two, I guess I didn't see Tampa Bay as a team that was just a quarterback away, but you know, I guess anything can happen, right?
I thought that I didn't think he was going to go back to the Patriots, but I thought he was going to go to the Chargers because I felt like they're more. But when you actually break down Tampa Bay's, I saw a guy breaking it down last night. You break down Tampa Bay's coaching staff, which is super solid.
Yep.
You know, they got Todd Bowles as the DC, so the defense is going to be nice. Really, the defense is what kept them in a lot of games. They went 7-9 last year, and Jameis threw 30 interceptions. I mean, 30 is terrible. Right? So if you get Brady, who's only going to throw 7, maybe 6, because Brady's, you say what you want about his deep ball, he's still really accurate, and he's not, and Brady's not going to lose any games for you. You know, say what you want about, you know, Tennessee through his last throw for New England was a pick, but at the same time, you know, it's that New England team. I mean, this is going to be the best group of receivers he's had in a long time. Mike Evans with Chris Godwin. And then who's their tight ends beast too, right?
Yeah.
And he gets to play in Florida for so NFL players get taxed for wherever they play the game at. So 8 games throughout the year is no state tax for him, which is actually huge for his $30 million he's going to be getting per year. And on a positive note, we get to watch Breeze and Brady twice a year now.
We do,
which is awesome.
You know, and Matt Ryan and Brady. And then whoever ends up in – oh, no, Carolina signed Teddy Bridgewater, right?
Bridgewater. So it's all of a sudden every quarterback in that division is solid.
Is a solid quarterback. So but I'm looking forward to that, you know, Tom Brady.
And then real quick, a shocker to me is that details will come out. New England didn't negotiate with him at all. There was zero.
Wow.
Zero. Belichick's the GM pretty much, and there was nothing. There was never a contract offered to Tom Brady. So he was never going back.
Yeah, so we'll kind of see what other dominoes start to fall, but Tom Brady was probably the biggest name that was going to hit the market, and he did, and he's supposed to sign with Tampa Bay sometime today. He may have actually signed while we were on the air, but
yeah, I mean it's pretty much a done deal. And the one thing that's interesting too is basically what's happening is, and I think Brady and Belichick they get along. But I think this was very business, and I think what they're trying to do is legacy stuff. So Belichick will try to prove he can win without Brady, and Brady will try to prove he can win without Belichick, which for your legacy is huge. Because then you can, if Brady wins without Belichick, he goes from being – I mean, he's already GOAT. Mm-hmm. It's even more.
And I'll tell you what I don't want to see next year is a New England-Tampa Bay Super Bowl. I don't want to see that.
Good. Yeah, it depends. I mean, I really am curious to see what the Patriots do at QB. I know I like to watch the Pat McAfee show, and he actually had picked out that he thought that the Patriots were going to go for Jameis Winston because Belichick feels like if he could say he turns Winston around to being like a championship quarterback, his legacy goes straight up.
Yeah.
So or he'll roll with their backup, which was Stidham, who actually was
actually a Hoover guy.
And coming out, they actually really, really liked him a lot to actually kind of take the reins. Maybe not necessarily this year, but. Another thing is Belichick actually gets house money. Mm-hmm. He's a house money guy. Patriots could win 6 games this year with Stidham, and Belichick could just go.
So the question is, though, all these bandwagon Patriots fans, are you going to make room for them on the Chiefs bandwagon now? Or they just got to stick with New England? All these bandwagoners that jumped on in 2000, 2001.
Yeah, 99 or 2000.
2001, you know.
So I'm not. So here's the deal, I'll clarify. I really cannot stand bandwagon fans, right? Mm-hmm. Now I will take you if you are betting on my team and you put cash to where you win money and so that's why you cheer for my team. I'm all for that because that's the reason I become a fan of another team is I bet on them. I want them to win. If you put money towards my team and you bet in Vegas, whatever. Cool. Welcome aboard. Different. There's also a little bit different reasons, but the thing is, the Patriots fans were brutally annoying.
They were,
and then I've even seen some of not necessarily anyone I know personally, but just social media stuff. Well, now they're like I saw a guy the other day go through the 6 Super Bowls and basically say Brady was the reason we got like one of them. because he said, Brady did the comeback on Atlanta. Other than that, it was Vinatieri or it was Deion Branch or it was the bad Seattle call, with they threw the pass instead they ran it with Lynch.
Don't hate on Brady, New England.
Whatever.
I appreciate what he did for you.
Greatest.
And
he's a GOAT.
Don't hate on him. I mean, we saw it. Joe Montana came to the Chiefs. Jerry Rice went to the Seahawks late in his career. Don't hate on these guys for still wanting to play the game. Just appreciate what they did.
Yeah,
for
just
because
your team moved on from them.
Yeah. But speaking of our teams, Cowboys did franchise Dak Prescott, which I said was what they were going to do all along. So he has been franchised. So he'll make, I think it's like $30.2 million or something like that.
So
this year, they did re-sign Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper turned down more money from Washington to stay in Dallas.
Yeah, still a nice contract. It's 5
years, $100 million, so about 20 per.
I even still feel like that's high for a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the deal that the way I think in Dallas is kind of broken down is that here we go. So he's paid the guys. Some of the guys on the O line I think have gotten paid, right?
Yep. The O line's paid.
He's paid Zeke.
Yep.
And he's paid Amari.
Yep.
Which means to me that Dak is asking for 40. He's asking for like something insane because Jerry's not afraid to over. I don't think the Amari isn't over. Amari's not overpay. Amari's probably that's top market.
Yeah.
Right. But so Jerry's not afraid to pay top market.
Yeah.
Which means Dak wants insane money.
And that's what I think. They do now have about $60 million of the cap next year tied up in Amari, Zeke, and Dak with the franchise tag, which that's a lot for 3 players. But, again, if you look at the formula from the 90s teams, I mean, they had a really good defense. They had number 1, number 2. They had a top 5 defense all those years. But the top 3 players on offense were an outside threat, running back, and a receiver. And they had a great O-line in front of those guys. So I feel like Jerry's trying to use that formula to build a similar team, and we'll see how that goes. But
and then what has Dak said about it? Is Dak's good? Like
I have not seen any comment from Dak Prescott.
Okay, I didn't know if he was still gonna. Because he hasn't signed. He hasn't signed it yet.
He hasn't signed it yet. No.
So he just needs to sign it, and the deal about the franchise tag is that basically the player has to react to it. Is they have until a certain date to sign it.
Yeah.
And then they can decide whether or not they're going to show up to camp or whatever.
Yeah.
Because
which I think that's going to be extended a little bit because I believe like OTAs and stuff.
I'll push back.
Would have gotten going here sometime. In early April, and right now I think that's all on hold.
All pushed back. So
the state of Kansas, where I work, has already canceled school for the remainder of this school year.
Right. Yeah.
So
it's crazy. So
we'll see what happens.
Other NFL stuff. Teddy Bridgewater goes to Carolina, and then Carolina is shopping Cam. Cam said he wanted to. Cam got a little. What the Panthers put on their social was that they were going to let Cam explore trade options. The real thing is, Cam's like, well, no, they're telling me I'm going to be traded. Dude, yeah, you're banged up all the time.
Yep.
They get Bridgewater for actually a little cheaper than they're.
You had one extraordinary year.
Yeah, one It's 2, right? It's the rookie year and then it's the Super Bowl year. Is that right? And then
he goes 2 extraordinary.
He goes to the Super Bowl and kind of proves that he can't under pressure. There's that video of him basically when he did the fumble and he gets out of the way instead of diving on the ball.
Diving on the ball, yep.
And then they show there's a couple other quarterbacks in the league now that Patrick's one of them, and then I think Lamar was another one. I saw that there was a fumble and they went straight for the ball, which is because those guys are gamers. So, anyways, I've talked about Bridgewater a lot. I really, really like Teddy Bridgewater a lot. I think I'm not saying he's not a 50 touchdown guy. He's like a 30 touchdown, 30 to 5, 30 to 7, but he's a winner. 4-0 or 5-0 as a starter for the Saints this year. 4-0, 5-0, something like that.
I thought they did lose one game
with Teddy. Well, I don't know. Either way, I would have taken him. So I think he's awesome. I think that was a good one. Minnesota, surprisingly, maybe not surprisingly, but 2-year extension on Cousins.
Yeah. That was a little weird, I thought. But
yeah, it's whatever. They want to keep it going, and then they trade. Okay, you know what's weird about that is they extend Cousins 2 years and then trade away Diggs.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, Diggs is now in Buffalo.
So are they all in or are they not all in?
And then another kind of weird trade was...
Which I love that for Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo, obviously, great move. Another weird trade was DeAndre Hopkins out of Houston and is now in Arizona and seemingly traded away for a hill of beans.
So, the hill of beans. So what it is basically... Basically, with the Texans' big pull out of this is a second-round pick for this year, a fourth-round next year, and then they get a negative value contract with David Johnson. When I saw this yesterday, I was like, what is it? Because somebody said negative value contract. What is this?
Yeah, what does that mean?
If they cut him, it will actually cost them more money if they cut him versus if they pay him. So his contract is massive.
Yeah, so 3 years ago,
the Cardinals pulled a haul.
They did. It's almost... reminiscent of the Herschel Walker trade.
Yeah.
Back in the late 80s.
Yeah, and I like 90s. That. I mean, dude, like think about they have a young Kyler Murray, and the defense actually is stepping up at the end of the year. Arizona actually was playing pretty well at the end of the year.
DeAndre Hopkins is a dude.
Yeah, he is. Offensive rookie of the year last year with Murray, and then you pair him up with Larry Fitzgerald, who's coming back for another year. Hopkins, who now Larry can mentor Hopkins even more.
Yeah.
D-Hop is nasty.
He's very good. I mean, he's top 5 receivers in the game, right? No doubt.
I think so. Yeah, and then their running backs Kenyon Drake, who actually took over David Johnson's starting job. So Cardinals pulled off. I mean, we were talking about this in our group chat with our buddies, and it's like, dude, this is one of the weirdest trades I've ever seen. Bill O'Brien's literally. I mean, unless David Johnson runs for 1,500 yards next year, or 2,000 yards or something.
Which,
I don't know.
I thought Bill O'Brien was already going to be fired at the end of the year.
We had a bet going about that, and I was like, I'll take up on that. I don't think they let him go. And instead they went opposite, and they gave him more power.
I know.
Which is, I'm like, they just want him to dig his own grave, so they have no choice but to fire him. I don't know. Maybe. Either way, what other signings? So Chiefs have lost a couple guys. So Agba signed a deal with Miami. Which Miami's pushing hard on some guys right now.
Miami signed a corner from
you
Dallas.
Guys. Yeah, not a big interception guy, though.
No, but he's a good cover corner, but I didn't think he needed to be the highest paid corner in the game, and I think Miami gave him that or
overpaid.
Close to it. That was the deal. He didn't really want to come back to Dallas if the money wasn't right, and I'm actually okay with the players that have gotten out of Dallas so far. I mean, obviously, I wanted to keep Amari Cooper. Randall Cobb signed with the Texans. He wasn't there the whole year. I mean, it was just kind of a one-year deal. I mean, I'm okay with that. Randall Cobb moving on. And
Jason Witten's a Raider.
Yeah, Jason Witten is a Raider. That's weird to me. I don't like to see it, but I understand from a business standpoint. Mike McCarthy, the deal was he didn't see Jason Witten fitting in. They re-signed Blake Jarwin, who's a younger tight end, and I'm okay with that. Again, I love Jason Witten for what he did for the Cowboys for a long time. I don't hate on him for wanting to make some more money and still play football.
Oh yeah,
but
plus Witten's probably friends with Gruden, so he gets to go play with Gruden.
Deal.
I think it's I don't like saying win for the Raiders. That's a win signing for the Raiders because
it is
not necessarily
he's a pro.
Total pro, right? And he's not going to get you 1,000 yards. What he's going to get you is leadership. And so he can also, like, if you have a young tight end, I don't know who their tight end is on the team. He can mentor that. And then the Raiders did another transition deal, which we're trying to figure out what they're doing with Marcus Mariota.
Yeah,
which is interesting. So to see if they're thinking about moving on from Derek Carr, or if they're going to try to pull kind of if Mariota is going to try to do to Derek Carr what Tannehill took over for in Tennessee, and then Tennessee. Signing Tannehill to a 4-year deal and then tagging Henry, which is Tyrann Mathieu had something to say about that. Tyrann Mathieu said the guy that did 75% of the work, you tag him and then you sign the guy that did about 25% of the work, which is funny because, if I was Tennessee, I'd lock up Derrick Henry to a nice contract. Even though I'm not big on paying running backs. So the franchise tag is actually pretty solid.
Yeah, and they're probably working on it, but
yeah, you're probably
we'll
right.
See.
I'm trying to think if was there any others. Chargers are still no QB.
Yeah, because Phillip Rivers did sign with Indy.
Colts.